I am so excited to talk to you. I have been a fan for many years.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad you made it in.
Yes, I read Boundaries, I think, in the 80s. So
Well, you
I
didn't
have
read in the
followed you
80s
for a
because it
very
wasn't
long time.
written. It wasn't written till the 90s, but you know, it's
Oh,
close.
early 90s.
I was
Early
4 years old.
90s. And so was I.
There you go.
um,
S-
so my question
So
is, I have
yeah.
been in a relationship with someone that I think what that is not a good decision, and we got intimate very quickly, and I believe that I have made the wrong choice. I don't believe that it is right for me, but it feels like my heart is in it because
No, wait a
I
minute.
feel
Hold
like
on.
I'm
Hold
in
on.
love
Hold
with
on.
him.
Hold on. Hold on. You've given me three different things that I need to know which one. You said it's not the right something. Was it not right to get into a relationship and move so quickly? A, was it not quite was it not right to get involved, and by intimately I'm assuming you mean sex. B, or C, is this the wrong guy? Which so what are we talking about?
All the above. All the
All
above.
the above.
I yes. All the above. And then I
Well,
keep
what's the
going back to
question?
him.
You're
It's
in
like
the wrong.
he's
You're. What's the question? I mean, there is no question. You're in the wrong relationship.
right, but why do I and I was just asking God. So it's so cool that I got you. I was just saying, God, why do I feel so sad when I break it off with him? Like why do I feel so sad and I cry and I feel heartbroken
Oh, so
and
you
I
did
and
break it
I
off.
feel I have so many times. I have broken it off so many times, and then I end up going back to him. But
Whoa!
usually
How
just
long?
for the
How
intimacy.
long? How long? You mean just for sex?
Well, that's what he wants, I think. But I
No,
think
but
it's
you said
clouded
you
my
go back
judgment.
to him. You said you go back to him just for the intimacy.
Well, that's what happens. I think we're going to be friends, and I'm going to be a companion to him. But then it ends up being that to him. So I
No, wait,
believe for
I'm
him.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hold on. You go back to him as girlfriend because you think this time it'll be more than sex. You'll also be friends, or you go back to him and want to be a friend without the sex, but then the sex gets in there.
Yes, all of those. All of those has happened. It's been a very big mess. He's not a Christian. He is a surfer. I live in Cocoa Beach, a surfer, a construction worker. He did construction work with me. He's very sexy. I had just left the marriage, and he capitalized on the the component of his sexuality. And I I believe probably more than likely he took advantage of me. And because I'm a Christian, I felt maybe connected to him because it's sin and I wanted it to not be sin. So I thought since we had sex, if we have a relationship, then it will not be sin and we can
Where did you
work
read that?
toward a
Where
relationship.
where where'd you read that? If you had a relationship, it won't be sin.
Thank you. Thank you. That's
Hmm?
very true. I did not read that anywhere, not in the Bible.
Oh, okay. So that's how you rationalize it. Okay. So how long has this been going on?
I didn't
Because
rationalize it. No, I did not rationalize it. I think it's a sin. I think it's destructive. I don't want it in my life. I cannot believe I'm talking about this publicly. I hope people do not recognize who I am. I am a Christian
it's
woman.
okay. You won't be the first. Um, how
Mhm.
long has this been going on?
A year.
A year.
And I even went, yes, and I even went to, I had a home in another state. So I'd go to my home and stay extended times to try to not see him. And I recently sold it. It's time to sell home. So I sold that home and I'm staying in my condo on the beach. But I have another property in another state. So I'm considering going there because I don't want any temptation to see him. And I want to
Are you?
be
So is it
consistent
over
in
now?
keeping him blocked off of my phone.
Is it over now?
It's supposed to be. Yes.
Well, wait a minute. What do you mean it's supposed to be? There's no like air traffic control that's saying you can land here or not. It's up to you. Is it over or not?
I'm not very clear with my boundaries. I'm not good at keeping them.
So you're afraid that it's not really over.
I think that I need to block him and go no contact. More than likely, he's a narcissist. I have a history of being with them. So I think I just need to go no contact, and then I won't end up talking to him again. But my dilemma is, why do I feel like I love him? Like, why do I feel like I can make a difference in his life? And he's been a project to me, like a codependent. But he's been like a project to me that I could help him, show him the way of maturity
no.
Right?
That's not true.
It's not going to happen. He's not going to listen to me. But I've tried a long time.
That's not what I'm saying. No, Cindy, that's not what I'm saying. Look.
Okay.
If we want to, you said you feel like you can help him, right? If our motivation is to help someone and to serve someone and to make life better for someone, we don't feel an addiction to where we can't survive without them. See, if we're helping somebody, we are giving to somebody. We're not needing something from them. You see the difference?
Yes.
When the rich young ruler walked away from Jesus and didn't want his help, Jesus didn't say, I got to move to another state because I can't stay away from you because I need you so much. See, when we're in the helping and the giving mode, we're not addicted. Okay? Now, sometimes
don't like that word.
Well, pick your own word.
Mm.
But sometimes people will be caught in a cycle because they are trying to resolve a long-standing pattern of trying to win over the love of somebody to where somebody finally does give to them. And the way they learn to do that generally early in childhood is by giving yourself in order to get love back. Like if it's a narcissist, and I don't know if he is or isn't, but oftentimes in that pattern, people become what psychologists call a self-object, which is you are just an object to make that person's self feel more whole or good or comfortable or whatever. And you're just sacrificially, or you're being sacrificed to serve his selfish needs. And your hope is, well, if I give enough, then finally I'll get the love that I need. Right?
Yes, that's 100% true. And I believe that's exactly what I've done. And it has come from childhood. Yes, 100%.
Okay. So why don't you say this? Why don't you say, just like an alcoholic says, I came to the realization that I'm powerless over this dynamic, that I just can't stop trying to find love by giving myself over to being used. Okay, and own that. All right?
Yes, that is so true. You are so amazing. I am so blessed that here I am in my home talking to you.
I'm not that amazing.
So true.
I'm not that amazing. This is known knowledge in the world of science. Okay, so if you start
but you're telling me, and I tell myself this, but to hear it from someone else, I'm like, yes, I am right. It's very
you start
true.
there.
Thank you.
Start there.
Yes.
So what is the answer to that? Well, you're saying you think the answer to that is I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to lose his number. I'm going to block him, this and the other. No, that's not the answer, because you that's like taking, a junkyard dog that wants to go, you know, like attack the whatever.
I don't like
What is the
junkyard dog, but
well, no, I'm looking for something with a voracious kind of like, they're just like, I gotta get to whatever. Speaking of junkyard
okay.
dogs, Finley, mine just hopped up here, and putting a piece of thread trying to hold him back is what I'm after. You need, you're thinking you're going to block him after a year of compulsive behavior is like an alcoholic saying, well, I'm just going to stop drinking. No, that's not the answer. That's part of the answer. But what you got to take care of here as well is you got to take care of the appetite. And the appetite comes from this lonely feeling that you have inside that goes back to some dynamic of somebody's love that wasn't available to you without you losing yourself. And you learn to do that dance. And that loss has got to be faced. I don't know if it was mom or dad or sister or brother or God or community or extended family, but there's some long-standing unfinished business that gets to an emptiness and a loss and a loneliness inside, is what you said. That every time you re-experience it by staying away, you feel this deep sadness. Well, that's probably tapping into some deep, long-standing emptiness or sadness inside. So,
yes,
if you don't, if you don't go to the bar, right? If you don't have the drink, what do the alcoholics do? They go to their meeting, and then they process those feelings. So, and I got to run. I'd love to talk to you further because there's so many dynamics in here. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to find a place to go, like a very good therapist that understands this. And you explain exactly what you explained. And you said, there's some loneliness inside of me, some hunger, some growling, like just, what's the word I'm looking for? Voracious hunger for love and connection. And if I don't find it, I get really sad. Therefore, the sadness must be something I'm bringing to that situation. It must already live inside of me, and I got to find that and get it healed. And then as you do that, the second thing is I would have a support system around me to help you say no, just like a sponsor does for an alcoholic. And you'd be able to get some help in saying no. Okay, so does that plan make sense to you?
Yes, and I have done those things, and I even have an accountability partner, but I was questioning the feelings I had of love, and now I understand they are not real. It is not real love. It is an emptiness in my heart that is manifesting, and that's why I feel sad when I am not.
And you have to go, and I want you to go find out what that is so you can grieve it once and for all, instead of symbolically grieving it forever and ever and ever. Amen. Because when we symbolically try to take care of a problem, it never takes care of the problem.
Yes, I agree. And I've done inner healing. Yes, and I know what it is. I know it's my father who was an alcoholic who sexually abused me, and I was codependent in that situation.
But it doesn't knowing. No, it's not healed. That's my point. So knowing in our head versus knowing experientially, because you've gone through the deep grief, and you've also found some other love, and I don't mean romantic love. And so you're trying to solve a non-romantic developmental problem with a romantic solution. This is a child's hunger. Okay?
Yeah.
Is not a sexual hunger. But unresolved child hunger in an adult body will try to find a sexual solution to a non-sexual hunger. That's why romantic liaisons and romantic relationships do not resolve, by and large, childhood needs. Because children don't get married and have sexual relationships. only sexual relationships they have are abusive. So there's generally a repetition compulsion that goes into these things. That's why you've got to find some good love that doesn't involve sex, which probably is from men and women, in a good, loving, therapeutic, and healing environment where that hole inside your heart gets filled up, and then you'll be able to say no. Okay? Got to run.
Yes. Thank you.
You've been a great call.
Thank
and
you. I'm so thankful for
welcome.
you. Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope it
Bye-bye.
helps you. There are so many dynamics in there that we could talk about, because it is such a there's so many things in there. So many things in there where people, just let me give you one. Let me give you one. She didn't use these words, but I'm going to give you one. All you single people, do not ever confuse longing for love. Do not ever confuse longing for love. Sometimes people will have an emptiness or an aloneness, and they'll go out with somebody or start to have a crush on somebody or date somebody. And there's this deep kind of almost sweetness to it, this longing, which really is rooted more in loss of loss that you're carrying around, where you've always been longing for love from a certain parent figure or somebody. And there's this ongoing loss. And then you're pining for that person, and you interpret it like, I'm in love with them. No, you're not in love with them. You're experiencing deprivation from them. And that is registering as loss. And it feels like love. Love is not a longing. Love is the satisfaction of a longing having been met. It's very different than an ongoing pining. So don't confuse that.